Good morning. Good morning, Angela. Good morning. Good morning. Did I see Christopher? Good morning, Christopher. How are you, Angela? Missed you, girl. I figured you might have been tired or something. You doing okay? God, I look like I just woke up, don't I? Good morning, Marion. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Let me move this message out of the way. Good morning, Juanita. Good morning. Happy Saturday. And good morning to your family as well. Hi, Miss Fatal. Abby. Abby's in the house. I'm on today. Abby, this is just, here, let me adjust the camera. I'm just doing this temporarily for today and next weekend. And hi, Betty. Welcome in. Hi, Deborah. Hey, Carolyn. What's happening? You guys give me 1 second, okay? I'll be right back. My husband's calling me. I'll be right back. Okay? Right back. Hold on. Can you guys just say hello and welcome everybody in for me? That would be fantastic. I'll be right back, okay? Right back. Did it? Okay. I'm back. And let's see. Marion, how are you this morning? Try to adjust this camera. Maybe I'm too short. So, did you have an enjoyable Friday night? And simply, Abby, I'm actually doing this for this Saturday and next Saturday. So, my husband and I don't, I don't come on Saturdays, but I did decide to do the wind down on Saturday night. Sunday, we spend the day together. We go to church, brunch, whatever. However, even though I plan to do the tea tonight, Gwen, especially, we are going to an event for my husband's business shortly. So I will be able to do this tea, but I think tonight I was going to do a wind down. And I hate to, mess up the schedule, but, I do have to be a wife, right? So tonight, I think I'm not going to do it because I think I'm going to be exhausted, in all honesty, because we are traveling somewhere. We'll be back, and then next weekend we're going to go again because it's up the coast. And that's, it's like a 3 hour ride. And so I think when I get home, I'm probably going to be exhausted. Gwen, I'm sorry. I had to change it. So I'll do the tea this week and next week. And because we're going to come back home. And then next week, we're going to do the same thing because I have to support him. He supports me. We support each other. So, and I want to go, you know, and hang out with my boo, my husband. So that, and it should be a lot of fun. I do need the break. Hi, Magnolia. Good morning. And the other thing I was going to mention, was waiting for more moderators to come in, is that I did go on to Sharon's moderator show, and I was going to invite, of course, you all. A lot of you are on Sharon's channel as well. We understand, Auntie. We have all week. Oh, you're so sweet, Angela. Thank you. However, Sharon has a lot of moderators. The reason she asked me is because I've been a moderator for 4 years. And so I know a lot about moderating, both in front of the camera and behind the scenes. Because I used to moderate for a podcast also, part-time. So I went on and I met with some of her moderators, but she has a lot of them. So we only had the one session. And I made a list and I was just going to share it after the tea. We're not going to run till like 11:30 or anything because we do have to get on the road. And that's why I scheduled a moderator meeting for my moderators. So if you want to attend, all I'm going to do is tell you what moderators typically do. And we know it's not paid. Sometimes once we go live, we get monetized and things, then, we might send out a gift card to, just, sometimes, because you still got to pay for the software, and, YouTube doesn't pay. But that's beside the point. So what I was going to cover in the moderators meeting are the basic duties of a moderator. And then you guys can tell me what you would like to do. And if nobody's already doing it, and I think in this case, they're open, it's easy. The main thing is to protect the channel. One of the main reasons that I did go over to assist with Sharon is that they had someone come in asking for money. No, we don't entertain asking for money. This channel, I don't do GoFundMes. I don't do, hey, I'm stuck on the gas. I ran out of gas. I need help. Can you all help me? They literally had somebody asking for money. Okay? We don't do that. So if someone is on here, and honestly, let me know, but it really doesn't matter who it is. I'm going to ban them from the channel because it is silly season. It's summertime, and they are on the prowl, especially here in America. So don't come here asking us for money. We don't have money. We don't have money. And if we did, we're not going to give it to them. And plus, this channel can get in trouble. Any channel can get in trouble for trying to get money to somebody. So if they want to do a GoFundMe, they can go on Facebook. They can go on other platforms. They can go to different channel creators, whatever, but not this channel. And if someone asks you for your phone number, do not, under any circumstances, give it to them, because we don't know who they are. These people can change their handles. They might have 20 handles set up already just to hit people up for money, and phone numbers and addresses. And I know about the phone numbers because it happened to me. I didn't call it, but yeah, there was a dial pad under a message with a phone number in it on WhatsApp. I'm not calling you. But anyway, so that is the biggest reason that I went over. Plus, a lot of people, people don't really know what moderators do. It's to protect the channel. And this channel, these two segments, I did set up for my subscribers, as you know. Okay. So again, this Saturday, next Saturday, I will do the tea. I won't do the wind down because we'll be coming back home and I know I'm going to be exhausted. It's um it's a Harley event because my husband does have a shop where he works on Harley Davidson motorcycles, and so we're going to go out there. It's not a set. It's it's something different for retailers and things like that. So I'm definitely going to go. And I love the coast and I need the break. All right. So with that said, if you cannot attend the moderator meeting after this one, and we're going to wrap this up, sooner than we normally do because I do need to finish getting packed. And so we can leave because we're going to leave right after this, after the moderator meeting. Okay. And that's why I said the moderator meeting would be 20 minutes, but it really doesn't have to even be that long. All I'm going to do is say what the moderators do. You can tell me if you have a choice. I mean, it's not hard coded in stone or anything like that. It's nothing like that. It's not where, oh my God, I have to do that. You don't. And they're just different things for people. Okay. So, with that said, I mean, and at the end of this, if we have time, I can just cover it here and just cancel the other meeting. I just put it out there just in case because some people won't care about what moderators do. So we may not even have the other meeting. We probably won't even need it if everybody is still here. Okay. So, with that said, I hope I didn't confuse everyone, right? But I do know that a few people that are here were at Sharon's because moderators quite often support more than one channel. And I did support 3 channels on here and the podcast, but at different times. And I just finished doing all the other, dropping my other moderator um, duties. Okay. So I'm going to say good morning. And I hope that wasn't too much this early. For me, it's early. For you, it's afternoon. Okay. So let's see. Who didn't I speak to? I spoke to Angela, Marion. Good morning again. Juanita, good morning. Gwen, I spoke to you and I'm speaking to you again. And Gwen, I thank you for everything that you do to help me stay on track and to keep this channel going, and for participating yesterday because you are a moderator over on Sharon Rico's, and it was good to be able to talk to you there. And but yeah, I did go over and I did explain what moderators do. And it had to do with bad words and, people coming in for money, things like that. And Miss Faye, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Betty Bush, how's my girl? Deborah, I said good morning. I'm going to say good morning to you again. Carolyn, cheers. And yes, please hit the like button so people will know we are here. And if you would, whenever you guys have time, would you replay? Last night was a good wind down to me. And it morphed actually into what I think it was Miss T, not Miss T, Miss Nice. It was a few people, but I remember Miss Nice because she kind of issued a casting call. I wonder if we have a new storyline coming up. So that's one thing I wanted to just share with you guys and we're over there brainstorming a new storyline for Antonia. We did that. So it just morphed into that. And it was like a what if, but it actually makes a lot of sense. Right. And the other thing, we did talk about Denisha a little bit, but it was like, can Anthony carry his own storyline? And Anthony can. I believe Anthony can. Anthony is a seasoned actor. He's been on television shows. He was on Sisters and, a lot of things. So are they going to split the storyline? Maybe. It's a good possibility. But anyway, at least we gave them ideas, right? For the people who were there, it was good. So if you get a chance, please listen to it. And of course, I still need to get ours again. How many of you are on the other platform? Can you just put in the comments so I'll know? Because this game, that whatever they're doing is getting old. I don't know what they're doing, but if, I will go over to the other platform if I have to. I just don't want to leave you guys. And you're the reason I am still here. And that is a fact. And Magnolia, I did see your comment about Marilyn. I always do my own commentary first, but I agree with Marilyn 100% about Amber. And I did respond to your comment. I tried to respond to all of them. But I agree with her 100%. I came to that same conclusion instantly. Instantly. So, yeah. And good job, Marilyn. Because you did call it too. Yeah, I agree. And then Marion says, good morning. Angela Atkinson is saying good morning. So is Carolyn. Thank you, everyone. Magnolia says, good afternoon, all. Dolly says, good morning and good afternoon. I forget. The reason that you all didn't get any messages to come over there is because she was collecting email addresses, and that just didn't fit for us, Plus, she had a lot of moderators, so it was so busy I couldn't get in the studio at first. And so it worked out where we might share the same moderators, but our channels are independent. Your channel belongs to you. And if anybody here starts a channel, it will be your channel and your responsibility to take care of it. And I just went over to help out. That was it. Okay. And I will help anybody out for the most part. And so, yeah. So, Magnolia, I did see your message. I did respond. I did put a poll or a question up, I think earlier in the week, to see if anybody would be available to come to a moderator meeting. And I got 1 thumbs up. That was it. So there wasn't much I could do with that. Okay. But again, people have lives, people get busy, and I get that. I know that. And then also, moderators actually kind of back each other up too. Okay. Magnolia, I'm tired. I am. Thank you for that. Take the time off, and I want to see my husband, but I've been putting everything into this channel. I did find out though that I can only watch one, one live at a time or video from my home. I can only watch one. And the same, I do believe, will apply to you all. So, I had a few devices, and so I can watch this one. I can watch this one over here. No, they gave me the hours and they took those back. And then I had a note that said, watch one at a time. So I play it in the background and I'm listening to myself because I make mistakes. I'll say the wrong name, or I might, but this is all new to me. So bear with me. I like it. I think I'm good at it. I hope I am. And then after I go viral, then I'm going to go ahead and, start incorporating videos back, like just pieces, because you can only have a certain ratio of pieces to narrative. Okay. Of video pieces to narrative. And thank you. I am tired. I won't stay for the whole live because I am going on the road. Okay, Angela, but I have to stay at least 15 minutes. That's fine. That's fine. And I hope everything's good with you, Angela. So Angela already does one thing that's important for a channel, and that is to keep the channel interacting with other people. Okay, that is what Angela Atkinson is extremely good at. I've been working with her for 2 years, and so I know Angela's strength is to keep the chat moving. I do know that for a fact, and she does do that. And I used to do that as well. I would, just be on, say, O'Neill's channel. I monitor what's going on. You'll get trolls, things like that. You get rid of them. We don't ban anybody unless they're asking for money. Then if they're asking for money, if they are asking for money, we're not having it. Okay? We're not having any bullies. The trolls, sometimes they're not bad. They just want to get in here and be annoying. So I'm going to leave that up to you guys, okay, to handle. Enjoy. Thank you, Miss Fata. I will. I love spending time with him and his buddies, Peace be still, Nonya. Thank you, Carolyn. Yes, and that is one of my favorite lines. Peace be still. Because yeah, I got sick this week. Well, not sick. I forgot to take my blood pressure medicine for 3 days in a row. So I had to call him the other day and I said, honey, I don't feel great. And then when he got home, he saw I had a message of a conversation I had with Miss B. I'm just sharing this. And he said, Nee. He calls me Nee. He said, did you write this? And I was like, yeah. And he heard our conversation. And he knew it was wrong what I wrote. And then he said, did you take your blood pressure medicine? And I had to think about it. And I hadn't. I had not done that. So anyway, yeah, I need to just like woosah and regroup. So I'm going to take a minute to just regroup. Dolly says, good afternoon, my precious daughter, to Magnolia. And Dolly couldn't even get in the meeting yesterday because it was too crowded over there. And then Magnolia saying hi to Gwen and Deborah, Juanita, everybody saying hello to everybody. So let us get down to it. Let's see. Hi, Carolyn. People are speaking to Carolyn. I respect you doing whatever you need to do, Nonya. They may say, it might be fine this time. And for people who don't know, there's like an old error from that account I had. And I didn't even know the account was here because I only get on here to say, how do I do such and such and such, But it tied the two accounts together. And that's what the problem was. So they've been untangled. The other account is gone. The Google account assigned to everything is gone. So when I reach the 4,000 hours and I have about 15 days to do it. The meeting was interesting, Miss Fatal. Yeah, it was interesting. So I have about 15 days to do it. So even if you just watch the replay or turn it on, whatever, anything helps. So I did find out yesterday, don't play two things in the house at once. Only one. Good morning, Angela C. And Angela says, good morning to everybody. One of Angela's specialties is to grab videos. Angela is very good at getting the link. Except, Angela, I don't know how to make the link work. When I try to do it, it hides the message and I can't click on the link. So, yeah, people are scamming, Carolyn, absolutely. So if somebody's here scamming, ban them. It's fine. If they ask for money, we're not playing that, okay? Nope. And then I saw like somebody was bullying Tina Young because she is one of my moderators. Even though she goes to Sharon's show or whoever, wherever she goes, she's always in the comments on my channel. She keeps the comments going. And there was a guy on there bullying her. And so I spoke to the guy. I mean, it wasn't mean. You never have to be nasty, never. And if you not like the way it's going, I don't care about them disagreeing with us. I do care about spreading negativity. That we don't need that. That's not why we're here, right? So, anyway, just a heads up, and that's what it was about. I will tell you about it, Miss Fatal, but right now, let's get into it. And good morning, Dolly. Good morning, Angela. Hi, Artie. How are you? Let me go back up a little bit. I'm sorry, I went too far. Artie says, good afternoon, Nonya, Buttercups, and Chatters. I was unavailable for the wind down last night, but I listened this morning. Artie, this I'd like to know what you think about the theory that just kind of evolved out of nowhere. We were just chatting, and then all of a sudden, all these things started coming up, and I think we all started thinking and just throwing stuff out there. Is Wayne up to something? Yeah, Wayne might be up to something. Hi, baby girl. Welcome in. How are you? Hey, Iris. You too. Thank you guys for coming this morning. And this one's not going to run as long because we're going to be getting on the road pretty soon, but long enough so we can cover the moderators meeting. And again, the moderator meeting isn't even that long. It's just letting you know what moderators do and let me know. I'm going to give you my email address. I'm going to type it now, and I don't mind you emailing me. Some people don't want to give their emails. I'm not a weirdo. I just do this, and this is I used to be O'Neill's lead moderator also, and so I just kind of kept things in order on the back end of everything. So, and the front end. And baby girl and Iris, I'm glad you're here. I really am. Please hit the like button, everybody. And let's see, who else do we have? Miss Fatal. I constantly getting phone numbers. Oh, no, 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 no. No, that's what they do on Facebook also, Miss Fatal. So Miss Fatal's comment says, I'm constantly getting phone numbers underneath my comments on other channels. They are notorious. I know what you mean. I used to get those all the time. And also on Instant Messenger. Instant Messenger and the other platform, the big blue, right? They claim they're Country Wayne. Yeah, no. Don't ever respond to them. They're spammers or they're looking for women, things like that. So if they're on there, yeah, just get rid of them. Just really get rid of them because they are persistent. They don't stop. And quite often it could very well be the same person. We don't know who. We don't know who's behind these handles and these pictures. We have no idea. And Gwen says, thanks everyone for joining Nonyasis chat. And I do appreciate you coming in. Our chats are lively. They have been for the last few days. Well, they have been since we started, actually. So, and I really enjoy the tea. And I really enjoy the wind down. I'm exhausted by the end of the day, but even though you think like I might not be doing anything between the two, I am doing things. And so it's like, okay. So yesterday I was able to fit Sharon into my schedule. It went about the length of time that I expected, but I will help anybody with their channel. And, if we're in good standing or whatever, I don't mind, because if I can share it, I will share it. I'm not like evil or anything like that, but that's, that's where it goes, right? So, and if any of you ever decide to start a channel, at least to know how to get it. Nature, good morning, Nature. Missed you, girl. Good morning, Nonya and chat family. And Carolyn saying good morning as well. Oh, you're welcome. I'm welcome, she said. Carolyn and everybody saying good morning. Gwen better not ever discuss her business in front of her husband's mistress. Not sure what that's about, but okay. Oh, yeah, Amber. And we are going to cover Amber. And then last night's wind down was really good. It was. And I wonder if we gave them any information, because Anthony did make one key comment in that whole nonsensical conversation, the second one that he was having with Denisha. He did make one comment, and I went, are they looking to make a spinoff storyline for Anthony? And Anthony can stand on his own. He is a really good actor. He really is. I just wonder about Denisha, though, because she's so cold, but she is about her bag, like Amber. Just don't give Amber's wedding ring to Denisha, because he did ask for Denisha's ring size. Now, he didn't even know Denisha from anything, from a turnip, right? But he's all over Denisha like white on rice. And she's, now I think he's piquing her interest. And Magnolia says, Triplet, just wait until Shayla finds out about Denisha and Delicia getting rings, and she's still for the house. Exactly. So we see a lot coming, and there's going to be a lot. Baby girl, it's okay. Yeah, it was interesting the way it developed. And then Miss Nice even had a casting call. She said, she was asking, who could they partner with Anthony? Because I mean, when we looked at it, it was like, wait a minute, maybe they are looking for a spinoff for Anthony. It might sound a little bizarre, but if you listen to the replay, you'll see how we came up with this. And again, Miss Nice, she had a list of women that could possibly be on the list to handle a storyline with Anthony. It was good. It was good. And I missed that last. It's okay, baby girl. Really, it's okay. But if you guys get a chance, please look at it. It was interesting. And then Carolyn says, Gwen, Amber better not ever discuss. Oh, no. Amber learned a lesson this morning. I popped on as soon as I saw it, and Shayla started saying what she was saying. I knew right then and there that she is about the bag, and they're steadily throwing Kai in there, right? Yeah, this is not about Kai. This is about Shayla not wanting Amber to get the 50%. And then Amber, keep your behind off that phone, talking in front of that woman. I have a feeling Amber is about to put a lot of distance between her and Shayla's. She is. And at the end, if you noticed, she told Shayla, no, we don't need to go together, basically is what she said. And Amber left because Amber sees she's smelling the coffee now. But I think Shayla finally made up her mind which loyalty, where does her loyalty lie? And she always says it lies with Kai. But bottom line, we know the money is available to Shayla, unless they put it in some irrevocable trust where it is only for Kai at a certain age. Shayla and Angelina are not going to do that. They're not. And then, let's see. And Magnolia, hey, Nature. Nature, how have you been? Are you doing okay? I hope so. I missed you. Good morning, Gwen. And then Angela says, Gwen, I can't believe I missed Wind Down last night. It's okay. It's all right. I just thought you might have been tired because, I know you pretty good. And I said, well, maybe she's tired, So I did miss you. And Dolly says, 18 likes, 24 watching. Please check to see if you hit the like button. If you don't know how to hit the like button, the moderators, I think for the most part, know how. But I think you just do probably like you do on O'Neill's channel. You know, you have to slide it down, hit the like button, and come back in. But if you do, it sends the algorithm out that we're here, and that's how channels grow. Okay, and even though like in here we want to talk about what we want to talk about, it's still, it's still our channel. I did this for us basically to get away from all the nonsense because it's going to get rough. I just got off the men's platform. You did, Carolyn? I hope you're okay. I accidentally ended up on one yesterday, and do you know I got a headache instantly listening to it? Mm-hmm. And I was like, why did that pop up on my phone? I don't want to hear that. But what they were saying is what I didn't want to hear, not the person. It was a creator or a reviewer. And then Nature says, yes, Anthony can carry his own storyline. He's a good actor, especially writing. Really uphold his skills and range in acting. And I too think Anthony can carry his own storyline. Is Denisha the right woman for it? Hi, George. Welcome in. Welcome in. And how's Miss Artist? Tell her good morning from Auntie. And it is good to see you in here. So, George, we did a wind down last night. I think you just heard me. Yeah. I really think a spinoff is probably coming. And I think it's going to be Anthony's because he's a very strong actor and he has done TV shows as well. So I think it's a matter of finding the right woman for him. Somebody even put, what's her name, Alexis. I was like, oh no, not Alexis. But maybe that's why they have Denisha. Because yesterday, I'll make this quick. Yeah, I listen to Marilyn all the time. I've been subscribed to her for years. Or since maybe, I don't know how long, but long enough to know it's been a few years that I've been subscribed to Marilyn. So I'm very familiar with her channel. More often than not, we agree. Usually we agree about, I'd say 95% of the time. But if you all know, I'd never listen to any other content creator first. I do my own assessment. I'll cut it short really quick most of the time. And then I'll do whatever I'm doing. And then I may venture out if I have the time to go and listen to a couple of the other people who I still have some faith in. Yeah. And I jumped on Facebook yesterday as well. Fell asleep, but I did get on Facebook. Marilyn's always honest. Mm-hmm. And then Nature says, hello, Magnolia. Shayla showed her fangs this morning. Yes, she did. To Amber. Amber needed her eyes opened. And now they're open. Now, the other piece to this is that Trey. Remember they were at the fair and Amber jammed Trey up when she should have been minding her own business because Bam shouldn't have been outside with Dave. Even though she had a ball, I mean, I was happy that she was outside having fun, but I wasn't happy because she's having an affair. So, of course, she sees Trey. She walks over to Trey and she jams him up and is saying, why are you with this woman? Who is that? Does she work at your school? Up in Trey's business, if I was Amber, I would have went the other way. I wouldn't have been in Trey's face saying anything. And then Ernestine said she didn't want to know about it. She made up something to ask if Trey was, if she wanted to tell Ernestine. And Bam, I mean, they're close, but Ernestine said she didn't want to know. So we see a fight coming there too, because when she finds out about Miss Johnson, she's going to tell Ernestine. well, you should have, I mean, Ernestine's going to tell Amber, well, you should have told me anyway. But that's down the road. But I say that to say Chase is now going, yes, Marilyn is funny. Chase is going to the Miami trip with the women, and so is Trey. Trey invited himself. Ernestine finally gave in and said, okay. So now Chase is going because Candace convinced Chase to go. So my theory on that is that Trey and Chase, they're both messy. Trey is going to mention it to Chase. And who is Chase going to tell about Amber being out with another guy? Now, that's how I see it. I don't have anything other than the interaction between Amber and Trey threatening each other, right? And Trey said, well, does your husband know you're in an affair, or whatever, however he put it? And now those two messy men are going on this trip. And of course, Chase is like, I don't know him, blah, blah, blah. But what's going to happen when Trey, and he is going to tell Chase, because men do gossip as well. I think Trey is going to tell Chase, and Chase is going to tell Anthony. I do. That's where I stand on that. Just from the pieces we've seen, I do think that's what's going to happen. So he's got Shayla. Amber has Shayla. She's got Anthony. She's got everybody. And even Danielle is not to be trusted still. And Amber found that out last week because she told the lake lady all of Amber's business, right? So, Amber, you were quiet. Now it's time for you to move stridently and quietly and stop talking. But she does see where Shayla's loyalties lie. And she left on her own without Shayla. Wherever they were going, Shayla did not get to go. So now she sees, right? Anyway, so Simply says, I know Wayne's sloppy writing, having Amber take that call and share it about her divorce settlement. Yep. Shayla's is pathetic and selfish, so Amber must take less, but he's got two parents to provide for him. Actually, she doesn't have to take less. I mean, to be honest, Anthony's got one. I don't think, Abby, if I'm reading your answer correctly, you could be correct, of course, but he's got the one affair with a baby, and his attorney already knew about that. And now he's trying to start one with Denisha. So if he crosses the line with Denisha, the affair will have happened, but will anybody find out about it? That could tell the judge if it ever came to divorce court. If they ever even get a divorce for the way Wayne writes. There's a lot. So, Abby, I say that because if Anthony does mess around, right now it's a 50-50, right? Even with her having an affair, it's still 50-50. He's been in an affair almost 2 whole years, right? And there's a baby. So his attorney had already told him last time around, Amber could get up to 80%. Amber needs to move less sloppy, number one. But number two, if he does get in with Denisha, and I say that because if you think about the second conversation he had with Denisha, and he found out she's a businesswoman, she's filling out LLCs, but she has no people. Now keep this in mind. What if the LLC is a new storyline? Right? Think, symbolically, if the LLC is a new storyline, Anthony said to Denisha, well, you need to have people before, you need the people. and the LLCs can come second. Does that say anything to anybody besides me that maybe Anthony needs an audience before he can have a storyline? Does that make sense? Because that's what he said to Denisha. And that's the first thing that clicked in my mind. Whoa. Are they going to split Anthony and Amber apart, whether divorced or not? Right? Does Anthony need people to support him for a storyline? This is just a theory. It just developed. We didn't do it on purpose. And then Miss Nice comes up with like 6 women that could possibly be fits for Anthony in his own storyline. I just find, and maybe I'm reading Denisha wrong, when it comes to business, we know how serious she is about Tamara's business, and she's building her own business. Are they considering a storyline for Anthony, but he needs people before they move forward with a storyline? As in, will people support a storyline for Anthony? And we ended up talking about that last night, but it just grew like an idea. It just grew because I think that they've destroyed that marriage so much, but that only God could put it back together. But I think that that's where Wayne is headed. I hope he is. I hope they're listening to us. I know Wayne's sloppy writing. This is simply, again, Abby having Amber take that call in front of Shayla. That was by design. Of course it was. And the settlement is so pathetic and selfish. So Amber takes less. But actually, she doesn't have to. They'll make Anthony, if she wins a 50-50, and we all know 50-50 is a negotiating number. That's a tactic, right? You go in, you ask for 50% in an equitable state. The judge makes the final decision. If Anthony decides, well, I don't want to give her anything, like Shayla said, well, you were only married for 2 years. Well, yeah, because you were the train wreck that got right smack in the middle of it and then provided more information to keep it going. Then your mom decided she's going to blackmail Anthony. And then Amber couldn't get her house, so she went and got her house on her own. We have people in here saying Amber didn't buy that house. And I pointed them to the skits. Go look at the skits, and you'll see in the next day is when he gave her those roses, but they were dollar bills or whatever they were. And Amber said, oh, yeah, I can use this at the grocery store, because she was so mad. But he did go and take his name off of Amber's rental. That is Amber's house. And you got people who don't know the storyline or don't want to accept the fact that her and Roe, even though Amber paid Roe back, Amber saved his behind from bankruptcy, and she saved that house from going into foreclosure. And that's when Zach was in the storyline. So right now, that's what's going on out there. If you guys don't know, that is what's going on, at least on YouTube. Trapstar says Amber being, quote, friends with the snake that destroyed her marriage and had her adopted son, purposely taken away. And I think I put that in the comment as well on somebody's comment. Will never sit right with me. You forgive and move on. You don't repeat the relationship. And that's right. And given that, I have been saying Amber needs to separate herself from Kai a little bit because she's too attached to Kai. Let that baby go. That's not your baby. You might be the godmother, but no, the godmother is not legal. I mean, it's religious, it's a promise, but if you fall out with the mom, you can always say, I can't be the godmother. You can always do that. So, and I'm going to say again, Amber needs to distance herself from Kai. She loves Kai, but she needs to step back, get in her own lane, and get out of Anthony and Shayla's mess. And then Dolly says, I watch Nonya and Sharon more than anyone else. sometimes Miss B, and Miss B, Miss Vaughn. Um, I watch a couple of people. I don't watch any of the guys anymore for the most part because they're all on the same train. I do watch Miss B. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say. So for this particular time slot, for a little while, until we nail it down, because I don't want to work on Saturdays. Um, I do have a family, and I've been ignoring them for what, 3 or 4 months now. And I do want to do the wind down though on Saturday. Miss B is going to start doing lives because she doesn't do lives, as you know. So she's going to start having lives. And she's going to use starting the week after next, this in this time zone. I keep saying time zone. In this time slot, while I'm going to do these 2 weeks, and then Miss B is going to step in and she's going to be doing lives. Okay, because the thing about the Country Wayne reviewers, it's pretty packed out there, and this will give Miss B opportunity to practice on doing her lives, right? Just like I didn't know how to do a live. I didn't know how to do anything when I got on here. So, but she does have the same software. And so if you follow Miss B or you want to, whether you agree or, don't agree, I usually actually agree with her. She's got her different reasons and I've got mine, but we do tend to agree for the most part. And then she'll have something that I will have missed just being a woman. And I think she's older than me. So she may see something that we don't see. But again, she will be in this time zone. Time zone. Maybe I'm still sleepy. I got to go pack. But she will be in this time slot because I don't do Saturdays. You guys already know that. And Sundays are our family day. But I will do the wind downs on Saturday nights. I promised you that, and that I will do. But I'm doing this today and next Saturday because Miss B is going to be doing something special. So she won't be here. Okay. And yeah, no, I typically stay away from that channel because that's a little too far for me to go. I'm not with the whitewashing of Anthony and Shayla. I'm not with that channel. I cannot do that, right? And there's a lot of hostility. There are moderators over there being attacked by chatters and things like that. And that's why I went over to talk to Sharon and her moderators. But she had so many, they couldn't even get they couldn't get in. So a lot of people do support multiple channels. Given that, that's enough about that part. And I just wanted to let you guys know what moderators do and find out if there's anything in particular you want to do. If you want to be a moderator, again, it's not hard. It's a matter of typing mostly or reading a comment, and you guys are really smart. So you can tell when somebody's being very nasty or hostile or whatever they're being. You can make a judgment call. But the only time to ban them is if they are asking for money. You can remove the comment. You can talk to them if you want to, but please never, ever argue with a fan. It's not worth it. That's what they want you to do. They know what a moderator is. I mean, they charged me at moderator night. And you think I didn't get on that keyboard and type? Oh, I did. But nobody stopped them either. They didn't stop them. Yeah. So I don't moderate over there anymore. I'm busy with my own channel and my own moderators, and we're not going that route. I'm sorry. That's not me. Not doing it. Don't care. It is what it is. Nature said to end is saying Angela C., she did and kept them out. Ant planted his seed and it grew overnight. And Bam shouldn't be surprised because she walked in to take her man. Conversation could have gone differently. Good morning, George. Hey, George, what's happening? George, do you have any input on any of this? Juanita says, "What I watch Maryland, but the others I can't take. All the Amber bashing. I don't watch the Amber bashing. I don't care what those people say, because as soon as Amber starts doing good again, the quote Team Amber people who are now right on the side of the whitewashing of Anthony and Shayla, they're going to sway right back over to the Amber side. That's what they're going to do. They did it last year. They're going to do it this year. But don't, you could be team member all you want to, whatever kind of team member you are. And somebody said something about Amberites. I'm not an Amberite. I am an Amber fan. I'm an Amber fan because who she proposes to be in real life and what she does for her fans, I truly appreciate. And I do like the Amber character. Pitfalls and all, I like Amber. So I will be a ride or die. Well, no, not a ride or die. I will be an Amber fan. I haven't stopped yet. Okay. And with that said, Trapstar, I hope Amber learned a lesson that Shayla is Team Anthony and the money. Oh, she did, especially when she said, "No, Shayla, you don't need to come with me." Whatever she said when she was walking out the door, she told Shayla, because Shayla thought she was still going to go wherever she was going with Amber, and Amber said no. Let's see. Nature says, Angela, she could have been inquisitive without accusatory. Understand the percentage, how she feels, and what other options. That's not Shayla's business. It's who is Shayla? Shayla's a side chick. She's a baby mama. Get out of Amber and Anthony's divorce like Angelina told her to. And that's what caught my attention. Why is Shayla speaking on this woman's divorce? Even though she heard her on the phone, if Shayla had any couth, if she had any morals, any scruples, any respect, Shayla would have kept her mouth shut. But she didn't. She had to intervene and start talking about her baby, whose supposed daddy is Anthony. Really, Shayla? Girl, get a life. They done made her the brains of Skitland or something, Give me a break. Magnolia said Wayne doesn't have anything else to write. The S/1 with Honeypot flopped. Piari is a flop. Shayla's can't carry a line. And he ruined the Daltons. He did. And I don't think it was probably designed that way, Magnolia, but that is what happened. And then, thank you, Dolly. Dolly says, I deserve quality time with my husband. He's been more than patient. And I appreciate him for that. You guys know, I think he'd sleep over there on the couch over there. He'd be laying there listening to the show. That's how he knew what me and Miss B were talking about. He said, that's not what you guys were saying, but I was really out of it. And I had to go to bed, took my medicine, and I went to sleep that day, this week. Good morning. Nature says, good morning, Gwen. I hope you're enjoying the start of your weekend. So do I. I got a chance to meet Gwen, and she's beautiful. She's a wonderful woman. We have something in common, which would be hospital billing and stuff. Sorry, I don't mean to tell you business, Gwen. But we both worked at hospitals before in the billing / financial part of it. Anyway, so that was pretty cool. Nonya, can we watch one at a time? And then, yeah, you can watch one at a time all the time. But I was running this and that and that. And then I got a message that said, this won't count. And I didn't know that. Even though I still would have hit the mark, I didn't know it. But I know it now. Magnolia says Amber needs to sit, pick Dave's brain because he's so strategic. I agree with that, Magnolia, about the moves, and he keeps it all on the low. That better be all he's keeping on the low, if you get my drift. Just kidding. Just messing with your man, Magnolia. Hi, artist. Good morning. George Sims' wife, artist, is in the house, and I'm going to do something that I never do because I hate this noise, but I'm going to do it anyway for artists. I'm going to do it. It's too low. That's for artists. All right, back to business. Welcome in, artists. Okay, and then Juanita says, Nonya, you are awesome. Juanita, thank you. That's so kind. Thank you. Wow, so are you. You are. Anthony is on a smear campaign. Yes, he is, Carolyn, telling people Amber is extorting him and messing with Kai's money. I told you Anthony is going to scorch earth to stop Amber from getting any of his money. Let me hide that one. I did see it. And let's see. This one says, I read that one. Nature, it's good so far. Thank you. Okay. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say. So you guys saw the one where Brody and Ken had teamed up. Ken was going to become an investor. Found out that that web guy and Sincerely were scammers, right? And you saw the fight with Angelina. And somebody told me I was the only one that captured the fight. I was surprised. And then when she threw the wig out the door. Anyway, Sincerely knows where Kai goes to school. And I think Sincerely is the one that sent the drinks because Shayla drinks lemon drops like Amber. And that's what was delivered to the table. At first I thought it was margarita. Then I saw the lemon in there. I think Sincerely sent the drinks. Sincerely also said she knows, she told Angelina, I know where your grandson goes to school. Now, Kai, we've watched Kai grow, and we saw him reaching for the door to open it for Delicia. Well, now Kai can open the door. He opened the door. Yes, I think it was yesterday or day before, whenever it was. I'm wondering, and Sincerely's wanted, she's on the run. They have the guy, Webb, right? So, and I did put a short out there with that in it. I wonder, is Sincerely going to go to Shayla's house and Kai is going to open that door? Because, you know, these people don't believe in locking their doors. I think Kai's going to open the door. Because Angelina apparently still hasn't made the phone call. Even though she went to her house, to Shayla's house, we have not seen a skit. And I only go by what they show us in the skits because that is the deliberate design of Wayne. He shows you, and then the rest of it you have to figure out for yourself. But when he shows you a skit, it's because there's information in it. Amber, the person, has a huge fan base because we like her as a person. That's right, Trap Star. She just so happens to also be a great actress. And it sounds like her whole family is into the arts, I think, for the most part. Wayne thought he thought he could diminish her and reduce her role like he did Ro. He thought that last year too. Remember with the breakdown? But he didn't. It just made her stronger because then we got to see the depth and height, and probably not even the full height of her acting abilities. And that brought Amber even more fans. But in actuality, also in reality, Amber accepts awards on Wayne's behalf. And the last time we saw them, it was Amber and her little boy. They were doing it. And so I think that she's probably closer to Wayne than we realize, because they make a I think they make a good team. It's interesting, there's a lot about Wayne I could say, but of course I'm never going to say anything like that. But we do want a new storyline. Wayne, if you're listening in Wayne's world, give Anthony his own storyline and free Amber. Free Amber. And give her some money. Yeah, we'd like that. We'd be doing a Maryland dance. I'd be over here trying to copy Maryland because she'd be jamming. Abby says, Miss Faye, exactly. What doesn't Shayla's? Shayla's will always be collateral damage. Anthony has proved it time after time, but she's still willing to play Amber again, because we were wondering which side is Shayla going to take. And after the conversation with Anthony yesterday, it was pretty clear, but not totally clear, not 100%. But as of this morning, we definitely know which side. And she always says Kai's side. Kai is 1 year old, 1.5 years old. Yeah, right. That part. If he was going to worry about Kai, and we don't know if he still has the LLC, they didn't show us he got rid of it, but he could put a lot of things into Kai's name. And quiet is kept. He could have put things into Coco's name to hide his assets. But what did he do? He went to his friend Ben, and I think Ben is going to take Anthony's money. We don't know where Darren is and Lisa and all that, but he went to Ben. And we know Ben's a scammer because he got $100 million off the top for the theater, right? And then, so simply said, Miss Faye, exactly. What doesn't Shayla's? I can't say Shayla's. That's hard for me to say. I want to call her Payless. Like Payless shoes. But she proved it. Yeah, she's willing to play in Amber's face. Dolly, you and I have being proud Southerners in common. Mm-hmm. Good morning, One Journey. Welcome in. Welcome in. Trapstar says Trapstar Angela, you're exactly right. That's exactly what he tried to do. Replace Amber, but it will not work. Denisha is no Amber. Denisha is a barracuda that we know of so far. And Denisha is very cold. But that's what we see right now with Denisha. And she's always had that same persona. Always. With the BBL girls, she was the go-to person. Karis called her the pimp. Mm-hmm. When Karis was trying to get with her. And then, let's see. Yeah, he's not going to replace Amber. She's his number one star. I doubt that. They might have a falling out, maybe, but I don't know. Hopefully not, because Amber's also going to start more producing and directing because she likes that a lot more. But I hope they don't cut her storyline down to where we don't see Amber a lot. Then, I mean, what would be worth watching if I don't get to see Amber? I don't want to see these other people. I want to see Amber. Hi to One Journey. One Journey says, welcome. Buckle up, Buttercup. Yeah, buckle up. It's going to be a long, hot summer. So thank you for that, One Journey. Thank you for making that change. That's so sweet. And I hope you are having a good weekend so far. I truly do. Dolly, yes, we are, and proud of it. Angela C says, Angelina is reassuring Shayla this morning, is she? That Amber will not get 50%. We know everything Angelina says does not come true. Angelina is asking for 90%. Give me a break. Angelina is team money. She wants 90% from Brody. So who is she to talk about Amber getting 50% when her daughter laid up there, and Kai, I don't care what anybody says, Wayne, you can put as many DNA test, but Wayne, you could have made that test right. He just wanted to shut us up. We know. We already know. But anyway, who is Angelina to say? And she knows better. Is she just telling Shayla that? Because if you're in a 50-50 state, the first thing people holler for is 50%. And there's a whole baby running around. And if the judge says, yes, let me see the child, let me see the original filing, because we don't even know what status Brittany left it in. Did she actually withdraw it altogether? Did she put it in some kind of hold? We're not attorneys. I mean, I'm not. I don't know what she could have done with it. But, and that was Brittany asking for 80%, which included the house. And Amber said, I only wanted the house. Remember that? And Brittany said, nope, we're going for everything. So Angelina can have a seat. All of her plans fail. Hopefully this one does too. Too many people call themselves pastors without being called by God. That is so true, Magnolia. I believe Angelina's going to try to scam Anthony's money. I do too. She already convinced him to put that money into the LLC for Kai last year. Where's that LLC at? Is it still funded, or did he defund it and hide that money? He wouldn't have had a reason if he put it in the LLC. He lied and said the house was in a business LLC, and Brittany found out that it was not. But he told Amber it was. And Brittany said, the house is not in an LLC. Okay. And I believe Angelina is going to try to scam Anthony's money. Yep, she is. And in the meantime, she needs to be worried about Sincerely, because Sincerely is coming for Angelina. And for some reason, Angelina needs to call Shayla. Why is that? And then Angela says, good morning, One Journey. One Journey, I hope you have a wonderful day today. And I hope you get to drive your car and practice on your programs, because you have an awesome system. Dolly says, Gwen, you and I have Southern roots in common. Yes. Angela says, WGO is going to stop her, Angelina. Not sure what that means, but she's not talking to me anyway, so I will skip that. And that's the kind of conversing that the moderators will do sometimes to keep the conversation going. And then when we creators sometimes will see it, we can say something about it or not. We can keep going, because that's how you keep the chat live and it doesn't just fizzle out. Okay, that's one thing that moderators do. Sincerely quit lying. Kai is never at that school. Oh, I think he probably goes to school 2 days a week. But she's watching Kai. She's watching the baby. Yeah. And then Juanita says, hi, One Journey. Marion says, Amber is going to scorch Anthony on that podcast. I think so. And I think she's going to scorch Miss Shayla as well. Now that she knows, oh yeah, definitely. And then Abby says, triplet, exactly. We definitely don't need Mama Brenda around Amber. Nope. I'm sorry. No, Mama Brenda, you stay over there and help Phil. He needs help. She left her own husband, the one in Amber, to suffer through it. Everyone knows Anthony is horrible, but Mama Brenda insisted she stay. And I was so furious that she listened. She's so worried about Kelvin. She needed to be worried about Anthony. Mr. Brody and Mr. Ken's video was one of my favorites. Wasn't it cute, Dolly? I loved it. It was epic. And they said, got him. Clink with their glasses. They set them up smooth. And I couldn't find the first video that had Ken in it talking to Brody, but Brody had on his like real OG. When I say OG, I mean like back in the day, OG hat, and Ken sitting there, legs crossed, and it looked like they probably had some 25-year-old scotch. And then the announcement came over the radio. That was a good one. I enjoyed that too. And Angelina, leave Ken alone. Stay away from Ken. And Mr. Brody and Mr. Ken video. Yeah, that was one of the favorites. I'm sorry, I read that one already. Carolyn says, right, he hasn't seen one day. I think he went to school a couple of days. Scamalina. Scamalina needs to let Shayla know Kai has been threatened. And I hope that's why she's over there. She over there still worried about Amber? Angelina needs a life. Hi, Mary. Welcome in. Good morning. Good morning. Anthony running around. Do that. Do that. Wayne's World God. Get ready to put a roadblock on him. Yeah. Get ready to give Amber her blessing. So move with purpose, Amber, and close your mouth. Close your mouth. The person Amber should have listened to was Coco. Yeah, but Coco never told her anything. Oh, you mean about Shayla? Oh, heck yeah. Everybody wondered about Shayla. I wish Coco had told her what was wrong with Anthony. But who was it? Trapstar, was that you that said Anthony's love language is buying things for women? Was that your comment, Trapstar? Because maybe that is it. Maybe that's Anthony's love language. And then why are you asking about her ring size? What, she'll give Amber's ring to her? Try that if you want to. Amber can go upside your head. Can you imagine him trying to put that ring on her finger? That big old 10-carat ring or whatever it is. You better leave Amber's ring alone. Marilyn dancing is always awesome. Magnolia says Coco told Amber not to take Anthony back. She did, but she could have told her why. I don't like when people tell me don't do something and they don't tell me why. Why are you telling me then if you don't want to tell me why? I don't do that. Tell me why. Tell me what you think. Tell me what's going on. Don't try to keep me in the dark and just say, oh, well, I wouldn't take him back. Why not, Coco? He's your cousin. Just saying. One thing I believe is not to use, GOD when it's convenient like Anthony does. And that's what Anthony does do. Anthony thinks that Skitland God, I don't like to be playing with God. He thinks he's a genie. And there are people who are like Anthony. They want what they want. They ask for it. And when they don't get it, they say he doesn't exist. Shayla might lose Amber, Amon, and Anthony trying to play games with Amber. Because we know Amon and Roan both, they like Amber. They like her as a person. So, new skit alert, Angelina tells Shayla there's no way Amber will get 50%. She don't know. She needs to go sit down and mind her own business and hope Pam's not pregnant by Brody. That's what Angelina needs to do, Marion, right? She needs to worry about her own mess and asking Brody for 90%. That's why she let Brody have all those affairs on his fourth affair, but she made sure she kissed Brody the other night to let Brody know, I'm still here. That's what Angelina did. That's what that kiss to me was about. Kai has no entitlement to marital funds. Not to marital funds, that is correct. That's correct. He can be an heir or he can have a living trust. I'm not a lawyer, and you guys know that, but I do know about that part. He can get a legal trust, but as far as marital funds, they need to come a little differently. But then, they're writing skits, so maybe they're, not being clear, but they should be for this audience, because this audience is already confused with what's going on. And I don't mean us, I mean KW's audience, because they say some of everything out there. It's almost like I hate to even go listen to them speak half the time. They sound like they're about 15 or 16. He is Anthony's responsibility and Shayla's. Shayla should be working. And the judge will probably say, why don't you work? Because what is Shayla going to do? Try to go get spousal support also? Listening to Angelina, no telling. Marion, we got to watch it. And again, I'll put up pieces of video once it comes on. No, I'm not going to show it, Marion. I'm trying to clean up my channel. I've been saying that for weeks. When I get monetized, I'll go back to putting video out. But for now, I don't want any video. And then they're on the rampage with these copyright notifications. I don't want any parts of it. That's why I'm not showing the videos right now. But when I meet my hours, because that's the only thing that's missing, then I'll be okay. Because there are more things that you can do once you get monetized. There are more things that open up. It's like the world opens up. And I can go in like the back way and change my shorts if I need to. I can turn the music down. But this way, I have to tear everything down and redo it. But once you get monetized, then it opens up and you have access to do whatever you need for your channel, which is why that is so important. It's not, if I do a video, I could make maybe a quarter on it. You know how long it takes to make a video? And they want to pay you a quarter, but you do like start making money when the commercials kick in, and the commercials aren't a choice. It's not an option. It happens. So anyway, but that's Marion, why I have not been showing videos. So bear with me because I will start again. But for right now, I'm not putting any video. I'm not putting anything. I took my music off. I put them in my phone. I still have them. And I'm going to keep them. And then I'll slowly start putting the ones back that I know had really high ratings. They're going to be reset to 0, but that's okay because the music on the shorts is good. And I put music on that people request when it fits the song. I absolutely do. So I am going to put them back. But for now, the shorts don't have music, and that's why. Because I don't want them saying, well, you're using this content of Country Wayne. You're also using content from a song. And I'm trying to get monetized. They don't like that. And it is in the YPP standard operating procedures. So that's why I took my shorts out that had the music. Hopefully I don't have any left. I'm going to recheck it. Let's see. The bad part about Anthony, Anthony went to Ben, and Ben brought in Darren. Anthony doesn't even know Darren. Anthony is not the smartest cookie on the block at all. I'm still saying, where'd you get the money? Trap Star, she is a believer now, unfortunately. I'm not sure who the believer is. Who, Magnolia? Who are you talking about, doll? Marion says, Shayla is, she believes in the process. Are you talking about Shayla? Believing in the process? Shayla is going to take Anthony, especially now that Angelina is getting involved. We'll see, because she's still sitting there waiting for Amon to come home. Let's see Angelina stop that 50%. I'm with you, Angela Atkinson. And she's sitting up there asking for 90%. But she's letting Brody go have these affairs so she can hold that over his head and say, well, you did this and you did that. She's the one that threw Brody out. He didn't walk away. She threw all his clothes out. They won't cut Amber's storyline because people skip all the other skits. Right. True, true, true. Please join Nonya Monday through Saturday mornings, 9:15 Pacific time, 12:15 Eastern time, your time, and then 11:15 for my Georgia folks, in Alabama, 11:15 CST. Please have tea with me so we can discuss everything. Is there anything you guys want to discuss? I hope the lawyer has found Anthony's hidden assets. Because she's looking. She's looking. And she told Amber, you're at the point of no return, right? There will not be a wind down tonight. No, Gwen, thank you. Because I'll probably be exhausted. You know, we're going to drive, and then we're going to go to the event. We're going to have a barbecue today. a kickoff, and I know I'm going to be tired. I know I will. I'll be in the room sleep, take my food upstairs and go to bed. Carolyn says Anthony is trying to sell the lie that he built everything on his own. He will not tell anybody that she helped him to save his fortune. I'd love for Amber to have control of her own, yeah, and stop letting Wayne write for her. Now, the thing about it, though, Magnolia, the problem, I guess, I don't know if things have changed, but she did write the Victor and all the pretty things we see. That's like Amber's way to produce, right? All the pretty colors and the memory walks. That's Amber, because Wayne doesn't have that in him. That's feminine. But Amber was writing, remember, and Wayne came and took over the AAS storyline at the end of last year. What was it, October? He came in when he decided he was going to retire. And he just took, he's the CEO or whatever it is, it's his company. And he took the AAS storyline and he took a hammer to it. So maybe he had this all in mind at the time he did that. Maybe. But so it's not like that's her line and she can control it. It's Wayne's world. It's his stuff. So the writers are, though, writing their own. But I think AAS is the one Wayne wants to keep a finger on the pulse for. Yes. And even when we say Amber's on vacation, she have to cut it short and come back because people are asking for her. And like we noticed the week of Memorial Day, she would come in. She came in for one skit, then she came in for one skit, and then she was gone again. She was probably on vacation with her little boy, and her, I guess, new fiance or whatever is going on with her. Miss Fatale says, just wait until Angelina finds out Pam is pregnant. That red hair gonna stand up like the heat miser. Oh my God, that's funny. I hope Amber has control over her and Dave's storyline. Probably so far, because that scene where she's walking down the stairs and he turns around, that is Amber. Wayne doesn't write like that. Wayne doesn't have that kind of romance in him. That was if you ask me, Amber did that. That was an Amber production. Wayne doesn't have that. There isn't a prenup. Nope, there is no prenup. That's right, Magnolia. Right. Carolyn Brown says Anthony's acting like Amber is disposable. Because she won't conform to what he wants. And Anthony might be running around trying to be visible, but Amber is valuable. I think that's probably also in addition to his money. He doesn't want to let his trophy wife go, but he wants to keep her at home in the house. And that does happen. They want to keep you home in the house. Not all men, of course, but, some guys just are that way. They're afraid somebody might snatch you up, or maybe he's still afraid that Wayne might. Even though we saw the episode with Wayne and Amber, right? We saw that special spot no longer matters, whatever. But to Wayne, I think it still matters because Wayne is going to ask questions now at the podcast. Wayne wants to know who Amber is seeing. That's why Wayne said that. He wants to know what Amber is doing. Who's this guy? Because Wayne knows there's a guy. She writes a lot of it, Marion. Well, some of it she does, some of it she doesn't, because Wayne's writing is like a man. I mean, it's rough. So, some of it, yeah. I think the kinder, softer things that we see, like the ministry and things like that, I think those are Amber. I even think yelling, when she was yelling off the cliff, to release, I think that was Amber. But the hardcore stuff that you see that just is real choppy, I think that's Wayne. because Amber is very smooth with her writing. And then Abby says Wayne leaves a lot of relevant things out, so that's why big moments fall flat. Abby, I couldn't agree with you more. Um, yeah. Anything else Amber finds out at this point is in. Mm-hmm. Abby, every time it fails, it's like let somebody else write it if you can't bring it, right? If you can't bring it. And Chase needs to cut the Bethany storyline. It has run its course. Because I remember when we were fussing at Chase on the other platform about his sloppy writing. And remember, right before Wayne took all the hashtags down, Chase was catching it back then on the other platform. And then Carolyn says, I laugh, Carolyn, every time you put Skaminka. Skamakina. Samakina, worried about who else is looking for you. Okay. I agree, Nonya. I don't want to watch anyone else but Amber. I have too much time and energy invested. Me too. And then the other storylines, they really aren't that great. Like, and they're always bringing more people, more people. I don't have the bandwidth for it, and I'm trying to concentrate on the AAS storyline. Carolyn says, "Good morning, One Journey." Marion says, "Brittany was asking for everything." Yep. Nunya says, "Chat, enjoy your priceless time. Thank you." With my husband, he's been so kind. Really, he has. Abby, Wayne leaves too many important things. I did read that. And then it says Amber learns and has learned the inconsequential cause. Nothing is done with the information. I like the way Amber writes. The house. Marion, I thought it turned out that the house wasn't in a LLC. Am I wrong? I could be, but that was a discussion that him and Amber had. But I thought Brittany came back. Oh, you know what? I think you're right, Marion, because Brittany came back and said Amber could still get the house. You're right. You are right. Not an LLC, but under the business name. Yep. I agree with you, Marion, 100%. Yeah. And then Marion, I think Angelina is going to tell Anthony to put a PI on Amber. Probably. Yeah, something's going to happen where something happens, but I mean, still in all. Okay, so now Amber's in an affair after a year and a half. You've been with Shayla for 2 years and got a baby. Okay, now what? Now let's have that discussion. Okay, but I do agree. She is the type to do it. And maybe Ali is coming back, Brittany's old boyfriend who was a PI when Brittany was dating him. Maybe. Brittany did ask for everything. And when Anthony got the papers at Shayla's and read the apartment, read it, he didn't like it. And what he did was he read the first page, and he flipped all the way to the back where all the assets are listed. He didn't even read the middle. He read assets. That's all he cared about. Wayne undid all the progress from last spring and summer to absolutely do nothing. Magnolia, you nailed it. That's exactly what he did. To undo it for what? To just keep us looping around like, we're on a hamster wheel, I guess, right? And that's what's infuriating about the storyline. I'm sorry, I say a lot. It's like I'm always reading like 4 things at once, and I apologize for that, but I'm a speed reader, or kind of. So I do that. I'm sorry. And then I say so let's see. Yeah, he did, Magnolia. He and was all for nothing. Marion says Anthony will find out Kai is not his blood. Yep, because why would sincerely be bringing up Kai? That's right, Marion. And then let's see. Abby says, I hope Amber's lawyer is a shark. I think she is, I think when she was with Jay and Ernestine, they weren't rich. I remember she did say she knew how to handle people like Amber's husband, is kind of how she put it. She didn't say Anthony, but she said men like him. Hmm. We need smart, sophisticated content. These are grown, supposedly rich people. Give us something that resonates with us, the grown people, the wiser, and respect the audience. Because a lot of these people are very young, they haven't seen anything, they haven't done anything. So we get these, like the one guy says, I'm Anthony Dalton. He was in the comments of Country Wayne. Then he put up the muscle arm. And I'm looking like, how old are you? You want to be like Anthony Dalton? Really? And let's see. No, Coco told Amber not to take Ant back, period. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Coco likes Amber, but she loves Anthony. I'm waiting to see which direction she goes. That's what I'm doing, Miss Fatal, when she finds out. Remember, she has never told Amber what was going on at Bar 44. That's right. And she also talked to Anthony about it only. Exactly. And when you talk about blood is thicker than water, yeah, she likes Amber, but why not tell Amber what his secret is? Um, I don't know. And she didn't tell about Bar 44. She keeps Anthony's secrets. Let's hope Anthony's not planning to give Denisha clothes to wear like Angelina let Diesel. She better not touch Amber's clothes. I think Denisha's probably too small anyway, because Amber's tall. They're very both stylish. I'm thinking about the ring when he asked about her ring finger. If anything, go get the diamonds out of the back of his trunk. He never did anything with those that we saw. Angela, I'm sorry, Dolly says, agree. Magnolia, the writing undid Amber's progress. And it did. And it did. Because he needed something to write about. Who else to write about but Amber? And he had to make it go really bad. How long has he had the idea to destroy this marriage? Like, was it from the beginning when he first started it? Or did he shift storyline? That's not a love language. That's Anthony. Oh, control language. I like that, Carolyn. I like that. He uses money to brag. Look at me, and say his name. Say my name, say my name. He tells me, what's my name? What's my name? If that's not a narcissistic tendency, I don't know what it is. And I pay for everything what I've done for you. Yeah, you're right. That's a control language. But I saw love language and I thought, oh, okay. But no, you're right. It's control. I agree. I do agree with that. And then simply, Abby says, Marion, them getting a PI on Amber would be diabolical after audience was shouting for a PI for Amber. Exactly. I mean, and we shouted to the rooftop. Then they brought Brittany's ex in, who was Ali, and he used to be a PI, and we thought something was going to happen. It fell flat. Nothing happened. Nothing. Nothing. It's like, well, what'd you bring him for? Mm-hmm. We were shouting up a storm. Ron is team Amber. He is, yeah. He called her a queen. Hi, Hemi girl. What's happening? What's happening, Hemi? Good to see you. Magnolia says, hey, Hemi girl. Hemi girl, what do you think about Ant getting his own storyline? We came up with that last night, just putting the pieces in, and I think that might be where they're headed. It could be. We don't know, but it looks like it. Everybody's saying, hey, Hemi girl. Welcome in, sis. I'm glad you're here. Betty. Hi, Betty. Betty says, I think Anthony knows Kai. Yeah. And he's ashamed to let anyone know. Betty, I think you're right. I think you're right. And Anthony is going to be introduced to that 5 fingers to the face. Like someone, like no, you said that last night about the 5 fingers. If he gives Amber's ring or money to Denisha out of that joint account, because Trapstar, and I'm going to say it, I might be wrong because I be guessing just like you guys, but I do like try to take in the facts and then try to make sense of it. But I think he's going to take it out of the joint account also to pay Amber back for using the joint account to pay her attorney. That's what I think Anthony's going to do, just to tick her off. I know they're dumb, not confused. Magnolia, you on a roll. And then she says, Abby says, yes, triplet. Roan sees Amber and is confused by why she even associates with Anthony and especially Shayla. Too bad Roan is on the other side of town in that mess. He would be a good friend. He would be a good friend to Amber. I agree. And Anthony likes to control women with his money. That's why he doesn't want to give her any money. He wants to control them through money. And Himmy girl, Team Am Bam all day, every day. Me too. Team Am Bam. Just had to say it because my girl is literally all alone out here in these dirty KW streets. Team Amber all day. And don't call me Amber Wright. I am Team Amber. Kai can get a child support only. That is correct, Carolyn. He can put money in an LLC for him, though, but I think the judge does have to approve it, doesn't he? But, I mean, we're not attorneys. I don't think we are. But, yeah, right now, Shayla is entitled to child support. And if Anthony goes to make an LLC or a living trust, he will have to get it signed off as long as he's still married to Amber. I'd say that because I did a living trust for this big shot, and he had to get it approved. The more I watch Roan's straightforwardness and saying he will build a wall with people, I agree with him, and as he should. People are messy. People are messy. Shayla has no business commenting on people's marital business. She thinks she's the voice of reason now in Skitland. They want us to think, oh, look at Shayla. She's not crazy anymore. Yes, she is. She's just crazy as she has ever been. She's just better at it. She's a slicker snake than she used to be. What time is it? So we've got about 5 minutes. Do you guys want to talk about the moderator meeting, or are we going to adjourn and do the meeting? Let me know what you think, because I do need to get this out there so that people will know what to look for. I mean, it's not like critical that I do it today, other than making sure that the comments are taken care of and that we do more, as a heads up to keep the channel safe. The rest of it I can pretty much go over later. And when new members come in, please welcome them. And usually there's a moderator that'll start that off. It's a matter of saying, thank you for subscribing, like we did Baby Girl. Thank you for coming in. And then when the super chats start coming, there's usually a person for that. And then they kick that off. But that is what they do. And, they participate, but it's not like you have a whole lot of things that you need to do, right? It's protect the channel and protect each other from the negativity that's coming our way. All right. Betty Bush says, I agree. He fights so hard because deep down he knows Kai isn't his. Yeah. He does crazy things to convince himself he's doing it for Kai. I agree. I think Anthony knows it's not his baby. Betty Bush, I agree. He fights so hard. Yeah. He knows that. I think he knows. And maybe that's why it took him so long to connect with with Kai. Anthony can put a trust on him on his insurance. Okay, Carolyn, I'll go for that. Again, I'm not a lawyer, but thanks for that. I'm glad. Good idea, Nonya sis. Thank you for the tech heads up. I don't know what I did, but okay, you're welcome. I don't know what I did one journey. I'm just talking, saying what I think I know. But yeah, but I do know that for a living trust, you do need to get that approved because it's a living trust. Um, there are different kinds of trust, and the living trust is one that says this will take care of you while you're living, going to school, whatever it is you're doing. Carolyn Brownie can't do that. Is the divorce has already been filed? That's a good point. So, and the assets transfer of assets is supposed to be frozen when the divorce petition has been filed. So there's the gray area right there. And again, where's the one he did before? Because he did that one before the divorce. And Marion West, Angelina likely will investigate Amber and discover she is sleeping with Dave. Maybe. She need to worry about Sincerely coming after her grandchild instead of being up in Amber's business. Triplet, it's shaping up to be Amber and Dave versus everybody. How does someone who minds their own business be so hated because of what happened during her marriage? That it wasn't her climbing in bed with Anthony that day, it was Shayla. And Shayla blackmailed him or extorted him or whatever you want to call it. Dave isn't who he is as a character by mistake. True. I agree with you, Magnolia. That was not a mistake. And Amber needs to give Shayla that draw away across the lips. And Dolly, yay, 41 likes, 31 watching. Thank you, everybody, for hitting the like button. And that's good. Hemi girl, what are you saying? Let's see. People finding out about Dave won't affect anything with the divorce process because Dave didn't happen during the active marriage. Okay. The only thing that matters is what happens during the marriage. Oh, because of that, you mean because of the legal separation, Hemi girl? Is that what you mean? The only thing that's in my crawl is that Amber's not going home. And that was that weird legal marriage thing that Wayne threw out there, saying that Amber needed to go home at night. And that's why I've been screaming, Amber, go tell them you need an apartment because you're afraid to be at home with Anthony. And that's why I keep saying that. And that way, at least you won't have to go home. You don't have to go. Anyway, Simply says Shayla got too much lip while sitting in Amon's motel where he comes to collect, always minding other people's business instead of her own. She thinks her life is perfect. She's about to find out real soon how unperfect it is. Deborah says, I think Dave has already investigated Anthony. I think so too, Deborah, because that man is on point with his business. I think he has already investigated Mr. Dalton. I want to see what Amon will say when Shayla tells him about Amber asking for 50%. Dave is probably going to say she's right. I'm not Dave, Amon, because we try not to mix the real with the KW world, but KW does it. And when Amon is probably going to say, yeah, that's about right. And Amon also likes Amber. And he had a baby with, Anthony had a baby with her best friend. There's a baby running around there. And you're supposed to say, why do you keep worrying about the past? So you got to look at Kai every day and you're asking that question. Both of those two people. Woo! Ciao. Diamond. Hi, Diamond. Welcome in. Deborah, that would be nice if Dave did already investigate Anthony. I think he did. Absolutely, Deborah. Dave definitely has done his homework on Antonia. Absolutely. Hi, Diamond. Carolyn says hello. They won't cut Amber's storyline because they can't. That's why they dog her character out instead. Okay, and then Dolly says, "Good evening, Diamond." Everybody's saying hi to Diamond. Wayne Ghostwriter did the AAS. Really, Magnolia? Okay, well, he needs to get another ghostwriter because this one ain't getting it. Diamond Rodriguez says, "Carolyn, me too, equally, since Amon wants Aunt to keep healthy boundaries." I don't think Amon really cares, to be honest. The more Shayla talks about Aunt's issues, it could be a turnoff. Yep, I agree. And Diamond saying hi back to everybody. Hemi Girl says Amber also did the Diesel going cray cray storyline on Valentine's Day. Hemi Girl, I didn't think anybody knew that but me. Or not but me, but yeah. Yep, she sure did. She sure did. And Kelvin was in it. The ghostwriter did a great job wrapping up the marriage. Hi, until Wayne stepped back in and made her take him back. Yeah. That's everyone. Thanks everyone for joining. Nonya sis, I do appreciate you all. And is anybody going to stick around for the moderator meeting? If not, let me know. I just want to give you your duties. Let me know if you can stick around or not. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of the comments to see if there are any answers. If not, I mean, I'll go ahead and give you the assignments. They're not hard. They're very easy. If you don't want to do it, let me know and I'll take you off of it. That's fine. Again, it's not required. It's just something I thought that the people I selected would be good at, and that's why I selected you. But if it's not something you're interested in, that's fine. It's okay. Diamond says Wayne is motivated by money. Yes, he is. He will keep anyone in his skits that drive up the money, which is why Delicia is. Angelina tells Shayla it's time to be ruthless. To who? You need to be ruthless to that lady coming after her daughter. Amber's character is learning the hard way. She learns everything the hard way. Trap star, yeah. Yep. I love the what is that? I don't know what that is. Oh, the montages with the music. Yeah. The memory lanes. They're beautiful. And that's Amber's. That's not Wayne that are doing those. You can tell that's feminine touch. That's feminine. Dave and Amber can't get a 9:30 a.m. time slot very often, so the rest is Amber. Not sure what that means, but okay. Chase used to do Shayla. He did, Hit Me Girl. And Wayne took it. Remember when Wayne took it over? And I think that was October of last year because Chase was starting to make a mess out of it. So I guess Wayne figured he could do a better job. And I think they wanted us to accept Anthony going home as Shayla's karma. And the audience said, no, that's not enough. And then Carolyn Brown says, Anthony is perpetually a fraud. I think he is. He cares about power, appearance, status, and the illusion of perfection. That's why he asked Shayla to protect him on the podcast, in addition to offering her a bribe to do it. Anthony fears embarrassment, or he's a natural narcissist and he doesn't want to lose. One of the two or both. Gwen Eves, Angelina is winding Shayla's battery up again. She's going to go full throttle and she's going to fall flat on her face. True. We are sharing our journey and time is precious. Deborah says, I hope the podcast doesn't start until Amber gets her divorce, and then let Dave appear as a guest on the podcast. Oh, you're devious, Deborah. Wow. Wow. It's supposed to be Scamalina, not Scamakina. I thought it was Scamalina, but I said, maybe you changed it. It's okay. Mike, Chase, and Phil used to write for Amber. I kind of miss it. Okay, I'll go for that. I wish Mike would fix his. He did wake up from his dream thinking he had both women too, by the way. Angelina is going into the hear me and hear me well. I don't feel like hearing them. I'm going to pack my suitcase so I can get going. I don't want to hear Angelina's mouth right now. Simply Abby says about the details being left out. You and I both pay attention to the details. And let's see. Right, but the business is gone. How does it still apply? I don't know. But the business is gone. How does it still apply? Diamond says, Carolyn, yes, and focuses more on his reputation. I'm tired of Angelina. Yeah, me too. And Deborah, I'd love to see Dave sit there with Amber and hold her and comfort her while they finalize the divorce. And the judge is not going to like that. Trust me. The judge will be like, sir, can you go outside and wait? Hi, Janet. Welcome in. Yes, it is. But if Amber did anything to the property, she got some of the property. Yeah, she did. She saved it from foreclosure. And then Angela A. And yeah, and people always forget that she did that. Oh, Amber didn't do anything. Yeah, okay. Angelina's telling Shayla she has no friends, blah, 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 blah. Same old nonsense. Gwen Eves, Angelina's already doing a number on her mind. Okay, yeah. They need to give her crazy medication and or whatever you want to call it, psych medication. The writers stretched the affair, pregnancy and Kai. Who's the dad storyline over a year and a half. Wayne said he was going to make it be Anthony and threw that raggedy DNA test at us to make us hush. So maybe he's going to leave it as Anthony. I don't know. The actress that plays Shayla, who has the felony charges, even still, they could have had Amber and Antonia's divorce and date. Angelina could be the downfall of Shayla. I think she is going to be Shayla's downfall. With all those women ganging up on her at the podcast. Yes, Dolly, as if they don't think we don't remember. And mind you, these are huge pieces of information. If Aunt can talk about the miscarriage, why can't she ask him why he has a baby by an essayer? I agree. I'm putting my email address in here at the bottom. If you want to ask about any of they're just assignments basically, and they don't even come up all that often about being a moderator, let me know. But if you don't want to be a moderator, let me know that too, because you don't have to be, and that's fine. It's okay with me. Again, I just chose you based on your knowledge, and I do know Magnolia, you know the storyline, and you know how to get the videos, and so does Angela. So I figured you guys would be good at that, and as well as patrolling, because you are in the comments also. So I just thought that could be something you could do, but if you don't want to do it, that's fine. Antoinette Burkhead says hello everybody, and leave Shayla's thoughts to herself. Hi, Himmy girl. Agree, Angela. Most of the KW audience are no kids left behind generation of the Bush administration. And I think Anthony only has the money in the joint accounts and hidden theater money. And I think you're right, Carolyn. I don't think Anthony is as rich as he portrays to be. I truly don't. I truly don't think so. And no, we're not going to talk politics. That's not a good idea. Nonya, believe it or not, there are grown people like Anthony. I do, Janet. Himmy Girl says, hey, Carolyn. Yes, the lack of comprehension and nuance. What, Shayla's still a cuckoo bird? One Journey said, I missed it. True, Angelina. Let's see. We can do it now. Okay, I have to go. Okay, Angela, I know you have to cut out. But Angela, what you're doing already, keep the comments going, keep them positive, keep people positive. If you get that show hide button, because it'll put it out there, because it's a new channel. When it comes up, it says show on one side, hide on the other side. If it is not a bad word, then show it. If it's not a nasty comment, show it. Don't hide everything. Please don't do that, because the sense is so sensitive. Gwen got one that says something about probably it says something about sexy, like the person was sexy, the dress was sexy, whatever it was. And it flagged it as questionable. That's not questionable. Sexy is not a bad word. If you see something like ASS asterisk, that's questionable. Hide it. Okay. Let's see. Anything else? 42 likes and 35 watching. Thank you, everybody, for hitting the like button. Triplet, they're still saying Amber is exposed. Yeah, we don't care. We don't care about what they're saying because they don't know what they're talking about. I'm glad you're sharing it, but I really don't care what those people are talking about because they just want to upset other people. They want to Amber bash. Angelina is crazy. I think something is wrong with her. Something is definitely wrong with her. Okay, thanks everyone for joining. And we're going to cut out. Hi, C Vlogs. Welcome in. Got to say goodbye, but we'll talk to you later. And Gwen, I will let you know. I think the wind down, Gwen, I have to see. Thank you. You put it in already. Because I think by the time we get there, I mean, it'll be 10 your time, but it'll only be 7 here in California. And that's about when things really kick off, right? So I think I don't think it'll work today. I thought it would, but after I talked to my husband, it was like, well, maybe, I might not. I might even go to sleep knowing me. Shayla needs to stop listening. Okay, so I'm going to cut out of here. And I think Miss Fatal, she might still be looking at Anthony's assets. And I wish Amber would remember that she's got the blueprints she got from Brittany because they're in her laptop. And they didn't show us that they weren't there anymore. So where are they? Wayne, can we have the blueprints we got from Brittany, please? We'd appreciate that. And turn them over to Amber's attorney if you're listening. All right, everybody, I'm going to cut out. Angela said the lawyer said even if Anthony find out about Dave, he can't do anything because she's legally separated. Baby girl said, you have a wonderful time and enjoy yourself. Thank you, baby girl. You're an awesome woman and so glad I subscribed. Thank you. I appreciate you for that. The Black community needs to be educated while being entertained. Thank you, One Journey. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And anytime any of my subscribers that have been with me for a while want to come up on the stage, you can come up. You can turn your camera off like One Journey does. You can turn your camera off. You can come up. It's fine. I'm always open to hearing perspectives of other people. Abby, that applies to you as well. And you are from Ireland. I'm dying to hear your accent. But yeah, so you guys can come up anytime. Hi, Lioness. Welcome in. Okay, guys, I got to get going. Yeah, I got to get to go. I'm leaving too, Angela. I got to go pack. So, because I was supposed to last night and I fell asleep. I fell asleep. So I better go. And I'm going to rerun this and I'll see the comments that I missed. So I hope everybody had a chance to read the comments. The pain and suffering and losses of 2 children. It's crazy how some people don't see Amber deserves it because they don't want to see it. They want to be Amber haters. And then there's certain people who want to see if they can turn people against Amber. Nonya, everyone have a great weekend. Whew. Get off, too much going on at work. Okay, Lioness. Enjoy this time. Thank you. And you get some rest. And we will. So thank you, everybody, for the great wishes. Thank you for coming more than anything else. Okay? And if you need, I sent my email address. I'm going to send it again in case you want it. Just write it down. It will disappear after I close the link, though. And my name is a long name, and it's hard to pronounce. So I use one part of it, then I use another part, then my husband uses the middle, which is ni. So it's Gunia. Like Gunia. Like it's like 3 syllables in a row in the middle. So it's hard to pronounce. You got to pronounce it from under here. So it's an Indian name my grandma gave me. Anyway, there you go. That is my email address. If you need it for anything, you probably won't, but I still would like for you to have it. And feel free to contact me anytime. It's fine. Okay. I will talk to you guys later. Buy One Journey. We'll talk to you later. And yeah. Thank you, Artie. I'll be back, but then we're going back next weekend because we can't close the shop for a whole week. So we're going to the finals next week. So just 2 weekends. Okay. And we'll talk to you guys later. Thank you. Let me go ahead and close out. You guys take care. Have a great weekend and get some rest and no toxicity. Okay? Stay away and don't fight with anybody. Don't fight with them. Let them talk to themselves. All right. Bye, everybody. Have a good one. I'll miss you. Bye-bye. I'll see you guys on Monday because we do have church in the morning and we're going to go to church out there. It's out by Pebble Beach. I don't know if you guys know where that is, where the golf classics are, but we're going to go to church out there tomorrow. All right. Bye-bye. I'll talk to you later.